All right, everyone, welcome to Paul Miller Journalism Building. I'm Ben Hutchens, this is Adam Engel,
Yes, sir.
and this is Daniel Allen. We cover the Cowboy baseball team for the Oak Holly. These two were just at Tulsa, One Oak Field, for the Cowboys' first Bedlam game of the season. Gentlemen, take me through what you saw.
Well, I'll tell you what. First off, I saw a lot of fans there. One Oak Field. By the way, if you haven't been there, it's a tremendous ballpark. It's situated right in the Greenwood district. You see the skyline. I mean, it's a great ballpark. You get the ambiance of the train rolling by every once in a while. But a lot of fans, 7,000, about 7,100 fans Tuesday night. We did see an Oklahoma State loss, but we saw a lot of I don't know, just a lot of kind of advantageous hitting. It was kind of luck, Daniel, with some of those Tuesday night games and some of the wind, especially since we're still in March, at least for one more day. You get some of that wind, and it just doesn't really create maybe the most. It just doesn't create maybe the highest quality of baseball.
Yeah, obviously you saw Oklahoma take advantage of Oklahoma State's. You knew they weren't going to throw Mitchell Stone for a while. They hadn't. I don't think they'd thrown over 5 innings, and I think that only happened once early on this season. And you saw a bunch of pitchers get a lot of opportunities, right?
On both sides.
You saw Oklahoma State take advantage of Oklahoma's early pitching in gap to gap, especially down the third base line, take advantage of the depth at the third baseman, Peyton Graham, shortstop, in between the third baseman and shortstop. And they're playing wide set, and Oklahoma State took advantage of that early on. Obviously, when Oklahoma made adjustments, you saw Oklahoma State's amount of hits, settle down, and obviously it became a pitcher's duel from then on until David Mendham solo shot in the top of the 8th, Apo Taco, and then Trevor Martin. You don't see this very much from him early on, and lately he's been phenomenal. But Tuesday night you saw him just five batters reach base off of just one hit. Obviously, one of them being an intentional walk for situational coaching by Josh Holiday. The theory behind that, obviously, you load the bases, you get a force out at any base, and obviously, with just no outs, they were going to go home, right? All they had to do was throw it home. The negative side of that, you load the bases, you give up a walk, it's ball game.
And that's what he did.
Oklahoma State got the negative side of that, and Trevor Martin obviously had his first, mess up of the season.
So the Cowboys do lose and break up their 11-game win streak. It had been, since sometime in early March since the Cowboys have had their last loss. So they go most of a month without even picking up a loss. 3-0 in conference play. This game, although it was against the Sooners, doesn't count toward conference play. So the Cowboys still are at the top of the Big 12 standings with a series coming up against Kansas State.
Yeah, and it's fun because we're actually going to be there this weekend. Should be a good time. The weather it's weird, kind of with March, early April. These guys are still kind of fighting the wind, and some people are like, well, in baseball the wind is actually it plays a big factor. It really does. It can really positively affect the hitting, or like we saw in Bedlam or even Sunday night, the wind blowing in. Wind blowing in. It's hard to hit the ball out of the park on a blustery day like that. Anything else for you, Ben? Or
no, man. Daniel, any other thoughts? Or
no, you've obviously seen the bats begin to emerge for Oklahoma State. Lately you've seen what Holiday preached early on, which is what they weren't getting when you saw that up and down start to the season, I guess you could say, which was not well pieced together games. Not when you had a solid pitching performance, you didn't have the bats. You didn't have the bats going. And they were starting to get that for a while. Obviously, one setback on Tuesday, but obviously regardless, Oklahoma State's hot offensively. So I think that's something they can maintain moving forward. Obviously, I don't want to say an easy stretch moving forward, but in terms of other teams in the Big 12 for a start to Big 12 slate, Oklahoma State probably has one of the easier schedules. So being hot, accumulating a bunch of wins together could set a bunch of a good mindset certainly, and reel in a bunch of momentum heading into the tough slate, which includes Texas, TCU, and Texas Tech at one point.
Yeah, I mean they're entering the Big 12 portion of the schedule, and as we all know, the Big 12 is no joke when it comes to college baseball. There's a lot of good teams, and it's gonna be fun. But thank you guys so much for following along. We will be in Manhattan. Look for our coverage there, oakcollie.com. You guys know all of our Twitters. Follow us there, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.